broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your number one source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans, producing after shows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows, interviewing celebrities and showrunners, and bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Hello and welcome to the Finding Carter After Show here on AfterBuzz. If you have not already, go to youtube.com/AfterBuzz. Hit subscribe. Also, guys, we're on iTunes and SoundCloud. Hit subscribe. Also, tweet at us during the show. You can tweet at me. I'm your host, Yael Tygiel, at Yael Tygiel. That's YaelTygiel. I'm feeling very handsy.
Oh, are you?
Yeah, I am. Kylie.
You can follow me with all of your hands on Twitter at the Kylie Hodges.
I'm suddenly sad. I'm over here all by myself.
Don't worry, I'll get handsy later.
You can follow me on Twitter at Kristin Strange.
Awesome. Also tweet us using the hashtag ABTV Finding Carter. Let's jump into this episode because I have a lot to say.
Really?
Yes. I feel very...
Let's hear it.
Let's start with Grant. Let's start with our favorite character, Grant.
Puppy.
Yeah.
Poor Grant. Finally speaking his mind.
I'm proud of him.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
I'm very proud. He stood up for himself. He was an independent young man. Mm-hmm. He's making his own choices. He has a right to be pissed. I would be pissed if I was him, too.
Mm-hmm. Agreed. All of that. Kylie?
I just think it's not so much about Grant, because we've been saying this about him this whole time, but, like, F you, Elizabeth. You know, like, he says, I've been going to therapy because Grandma's been taking me, and it's, like... You know, he implies that his therapist has been helping him work out his feelings. And what does she do? She gets pissed and starts jumping down his throat about, oh, who's taking you to therapy? It's like, Elizabeth, maybe you should take a step back and be concerned about the well-being of your child. Yeah. And not playing the blame game.
Oh, I agree with you 100%. Your kid says he's going to therapy behind your back. The question you ask isn't who's taking you, it's
what am I doing wrong?
Yeah, like, let's talk about this problem.
Yeah. The worst parent ever.
And I feel like this episode, she and David, by the end, started to be better parents. They started to pay attention to him.
We'll see.
I love that he... runs away, and when they call, he won't answer. But when Grandma calls, he will. And I was like, does no one see this coming? This is coming.
Yeah, Grandma is the only one who's been paying attention to him.
Mm-hmm.
During this particular moment, I just kept thinking, like, maybe it would almost be better if Lori were raising these children, because at least she loved Carter and paid attention to her.
She loved her so much, she kidnapped her.
Yeah, maybe all of these kids need to be re-kidnapped in order to experience parents that love them and pay attention to them. Good God. I'm over Elizabeth.
Okay, as much as I agree, the thing is, as we recall, we just learned recently that Lori didn't have Carter thinking about her future because
she wanted to keep her.
She couldn't imagine the idea
love,
of her growing.
Though.
No,
I know
she couldn't imagine her growing, and that's a problem. So, you know, I understand why Lori might maybe be a good mom.
She does have good qualities of motherhood. I'm not saying she was like. I mean, obviously Carter is a good person, and she didn't become a good person.
Good enough.
Yeah, she didn't become a good person all on her own. I mean, I'm sure Lori was some of that, but I mean, 95% of the time she wasn't.
Wait, we're saying Carter's a good person?
I mean,
good enough.
Yeah,
Okay.
she's not the one pulling the trigger.
She's not shooting people at a gas station.
She's not doing that. She's calling the police.
Yeah. Fair enough. All right. Okay, so we have the reveal at the end that Grant wants to live with the grandparents, and I gotta say, if I were Elizabeth, who had ignored and forgotten this child, I'd be like, maybe that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Maybe that's right for you.
Yeah.
Thoughts?
Sorry, I was reading the chat roll. Can you say that again?
I think that when Grant reveals that he wants to live with the grandparents, if I were Elizabeth, I would agree that that's a good idea.
She's too stubborn.
If you were Elizabeth. If I were Elizabeth...
You'd be a better parent.
Well, I'm trying to think like Elizabeth. I guess this is more of a prediction. but this scene already happened, so it can't be a prediction.
Yeah. I mean,
I just think Elizabeth is irrational. But yes, if I were Elizabeth, I would be like, maybe you should be in a more stable environment since shit is going down in this family.
She should at least...
And you need to be away from it. Because it's not like, he's been tied into anything with Lori.
Yeah.
He needs to be away from these nut jobs.
At least till things get settled, till they get a plan, till they file for goddamn divorce. Darn divorce.
I think also, if he goes to live with Grandma, Elizabeth is supposed to be staying there.
Right.
So she'll see him when she stays there. Maybe that'll get her to stop staying at Kyle's.
Look at that.
Can we talk
But do you
a little
want her to stop seeing Kyle? Because that would mean less Kyle in the show.
You shut your mouth.
We might get some sexy scenes at his house with them, too.
Let's talk about Elizabeth and Kyle real quick. Because we do have this interaction where, Grandma reveals that she's been staying at his place, which I'm with Grandma. How is it that we're thinking this is a secret? Also, why is Grant surprised? You know what I mean?
I don't think he's surprised. I just don't think he was expecting to hear it.
Yeah, it's weird because he's seen them kissing, and, everyone knew they were having an affair. I suppose if someone said it to me, I'd be like, wait, what?
Yeah. I didn't want to know that.
Yeah, or maybe he's trying to play naive.
I don't know. Last episode we had him say, you're basically dating him.
We also have to remember that he's, 12 or 13?
Yeah.
So we're talking about him like he's an adult and should know, they're dating. Obviously, she's staying at his house. But he's not really thinking like that because it's not like he's had all these girlfriends where they always have, sleepovers at each other's houses.
Fair point. He is a child.
Yeah.
Reminder.
That's true.
He's the most mature person in the show.
But he is a child.
Yeah. Everyone knows how I feel about Kyle. Eddie.
Loves
Everyone
me
knows.
some Eddie Matos.
Hell yeah.
Hola. ¿Cómo estás?
Back up.
Lo siento.
Okay. So, yes, I like the idea of Elizabeth and Kyle, but she is not good to any of the men in her life.
No, she's really not great with the guys. She should stick with the daughters and let David date Grant.
Did we ever find out exactly what it was that David and Elizabeth were on the rocks about years ago when David and Lori had the affair?
No.
That they're not compatible people.
I'm kind of curious.
They don't actually love each other.
Because they reflect on that time like they were in a rough patch, and it's I feel like this is a pretty rough patch right now.
Have
You've been in a rough patch for a solid year-ish since this show started.
Yeah.
So when did the rough patch end and restart?
It's always a rough patch.
Yeah, that's a rough marriage.
That's what marriage is, guys.
I think that their marriage has been an uphill battle from the beginning. It's why stay? That makes me so mad when people just stay in marriages because when they're unhappy, be happy. Just be happy.
Yeah.
You know who's happy? Grandma. Guys, the chat roll is going crazy about Grandma and Grandpa being swingers. What are your thoughts on that?
That would be great. I'd like to see that storyline.
I don't understand where that idea came from and what happened, but yay polyamory. That's where I stand.
One Lanavis one says Grandma and Grandpa are swingers, I bet.
They probably are.
It's a little soon for predictions, but I like where you're going with the storyline, Lanavis.
Well, okay, let's jump over to another relationship. Let's talk about Gabe and Abby.
Oh my God.
Yes?
Someone call the police because this is illegal.
Yes. Is that all you
This is just illegal. Yeah, well,
Wait, is he 18? No.
I assume none of the...
It doesn't matter
Max is
because
18.
she is a teacher at the school.
Right. That's still wrong, but...
No, legally that's unacceptable.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if he's 18.
it's kind of sexy.
It is.
Hot for teacher. But then also it's oh, yeah, he's also, maybe still going through puberty.
So I believe he's... Okay, so let's clarify. I think that they're 16, right? Because they're
17, I think.
They're 16 or 17 because they at least can drive.
Right.
They're not 18.
Because didn't we celebrate the twins' 17th birthday?
Yes.
Okay.
Last season.
Sure.
Last
That
season.
sounds right.
Yeah.
Is that when we went to the park?
That's when you guys went to the...
We went to the
Baskin Robbins.
That's it. We went and got ice cream.
Where everyone's 17-year-old loves their birthday party.
Yeah. Man, I'm going to have my birthday party at Baskin Robbins.
Okay.
You're all invited.
Let's talk about Gabby as we're putting them, if we're shipping them. They're Gabby, right? That makes sense. Gabe and Abby.
Oh, I like that.
It just sounds like a person.
Wait, are you shipping them?
No, I'm just saying if they're a couple, we need to have a name so I don't have to keep saying Gabe and Abby. Gabby.
Oh.
Here's the thing about Gabby, guys. I feel like it's been way too simple that he decided last episode, the episode before.
Yeah, we didn't see how that happened. All of a sudden they were making out. I was confused.
Like, I want to see his moves. I want to see how he got there because I don't believe that she
helped me get into college.
Right, and she was like very adamant that she wasn't interested. I want to know how he changed that.
We definitely missed something.
Yeah, I definitely thought those things when I saw them making out.
I could have used him like walking into her office and like ripping off all his clothes or doing not all of them, but like doing something that would be considered a move.
We know what you want.
You know what would be even sexier? If there is no backstory, this was their first kiss. It just happened.
That's the other thing. That's the other thing that bugs me is not only do we see how... We didn't see how it happened. She got caught really fast.
Yeah,
I know. They could have let it happen for a couple episodes.
Yeah, I was kind of hoping for that. Like, okay, I can see the storyline growing, and then like, what if the principal walks in and instead of being like, I'm gonna call the cops, the principal is like, is there room for a third?
You are awful.
Guys, I'm trying to help the ratings.
You know why you're awful? You're awful because I also thought that.
Listen, it takes, there's two guilty people at this table. Look, I'm just trying to spice things up a little bit. I want the best show possible, and I feel like that could really be an attention grabber.
So we've got Bird who figures out the situation.
Who shouldn't be upset? Bird.
So here's the thing, Bird. He told you that this is what he was going to do. He said, "Hey, Bird, I have a plan. I want to sleep with Abby." And she's so
surprised. She's so surprised.
She was so surprised when she walks in on it. I mean, I guess we're all surprised because we didn't see any of the legwork.
Wait,
the legwork.
Physical legwork?
No.
Yeah.
The legwork.
Oh, working up to the hooking up.
Thanks.
There's probably some legwork there too.
Yeah. Also, when he's like, "Oh, Bird wouldn't tell. She's a good friend. She would never do that." And I was like, "Remember that time she framed Carter?"
Yeah. Every episode, my feelings with Bird change. I think every other episode, I hate her. And then every other episode, I like her. But there's no consistency with her morals.
Yes. Agreed.
I mean, I don't feel like I have consistency with my morals either. I feel like they're sometimes I don't have them as strict as in other times, but not really like her.
There was no more of that?
I was gonna go into detail, and then I thought
you should keep your private stuff private. Yeah, let's do that. But my problem is Bird goes from I am going to frame you for stealing jewelry to I'm going to throw these rager parties to I'm going to invite the guy who shot my roommate to the party to I'm going to help you with this college expo, but also I'm going to keep your secret that you're sleeping with your teacher.
Maybe she's turning over a new leaf.
No, she's confused as to where she stands.
She's on all the leaves.
I think that she's holding her secrets in until they are useful to her.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I think she is the most manipulative. And I'm also, those who have been watching this show, the after show, knows that I hold grudges. For example, Crash will never be redeemed. He shot Max.
Yeah, that's definitely a deal breaker for me if you shoot my friend. It's like,
I'm here
anymore.
To represent Car Crash for Hannah.
Wait, we're not even there yet. Nah. So Bird stands, I'm holding a grudge. She is not to be trusted.
No.
And the fact that they were like, I trust her this episode was ridiculous. Gabe, you should know better.
Also,
Gabe's a dummy.
Apparently, the fiance turned them in, or turned her in,
right,
and thought that it was just an affair, somehow figured out it was a student because of texting. Do we think that that's Gabe or another student?
Oh.
See, I thought it was another student only because I was on Twitter and other people were talking and they were like, oh, I didn't know it wasn't just Gabe. Like, it seemed like people were picking up that it's implying there's more than just Gabe.
Interesting.
Oh yeah, that's what I was wondering. I didn't really
because if you know that's a completely that's a completely different element. This show, if it harnessed the Gabby relationship where it was like love as opposed to like a slutty teacher, those are two completely different things.
Right.
Because I want to see Gabe date her while she's in jail. I want them to get married in jail. Yeah.
What was that teacher? Mary Latour.
There's a lot of them.
There's been a lot. So, I disagree. I feel like if it was a love thing, that was, I feel like that would be different and it would change the story. And I don't want to go that route. But I
think she just liked the attention.
I don't like the idea that it might be that she's sleeping with multiple students because that also changes it. Because he made the first moves. I'm not excusing or whatever. I'm just saying that's a story.
Are we positive he made the first moves? We didn't see them.
Right, but he made the decision in our eyes, from what we know. He made the decision he wanted to do this.
That's like
and then went after it. Clearly succeeded because the last we saw was her saying no, she didn't want to do this. So I'm assuming he's been persistent.
Yeah, or did suddenly she got drunk or something and changed
at
her
school?
mind? I don't, maybe.
Girl, okay.
She's sleeping. She's sleeping with a student. Let's not put it past her.
Well, let's ask this question because Bird brought it up. If it was flipped, if she was with a male teacher, would it be different? If it was Bird instead of Gabe.
Oh, you mean by our reaction to this?
No, with the situation, would we feel different?
It depends who he is. Honestly, for me, it would depend on who he is. Because I'm totally someone who supports the like student-teacher relationship in Pretty Little Liars. Like she's dating Ezra, and I totally love that.
Wait, Ezra is different.
But it's because Ezra's not a creeper like Karen he is. But like. I don't know.
We're not going to get into Pretty Little Liars, but...
Yeah, I don't watch that show.
Yeah,
but what I
support
can say...
So.
Yes.
A, yes, all women. B...
Do you want to defend that
regardless of whether the child having sex with the adult teacher is a male or a female, I would feel the same way about it.
Okay.
And C...
Yeah.
Someone on the chat roll made a solid point. Doesn't matter who pursued who. He's under 18.
Oh, no, of course.
We all agree. But
yes.
I like that comment, so I wanted to say it out loud.
Yes, I think it's great. We should definitely say that. I see that. We're ignoring it. I definitely agree that it should be said regardless of who came on to who. She's an adult. He's a child. That's not what we're saying. What we're saying is if we're going to look at the storylines, it's more interesting as a story to see him pursue her and her not sleeping with a bunch of students.
To be honest, I think that this is a short storyline. It seemed like he was already over it. He was like, well, next time I'll get a girl my own age. And then they were drinking. Like, great.
Yeah, no, you're right. I feel like it was a waste of a storyline.
It really was.
It could have been so much more interesting. It would have brought us a whole different side of Kyle, which I would like to talk about a little bit. Kyle...
Really, what you're saying, it would have just brought more Kyle.
Also,
I wish Gabe had told Kyle. I thought that would have been a great scene.
But because
then Kyle's like, I have this knowledge and I'm a cop. You know, I'm torn.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it doesn't matter because he would just put her in jail. Like he would have evidence and call it a day. His son would be fine.
True.
The question is,
your son.
We finally see Kyle being a good parent. He's like, I realized that I dropped the ball. I'm going to make up for it.
Maybe he and Elizabeth should get married so he can rub off on her.
Do you want to rephrase that?
I like him better than David. Well, he's already rubbing off on her.
Yeah.
I like him better than David. He seems way more sincere. Yeah. He actually seems like he wants to be a parent.
Yeah.
Unlike David, who kind of gives off the vibe that he has 3 children and a wife, but still the look on his face always says, I didn't sign up for this. Doesn't it? He's always dumbfounded that he's in the room with these people that he created.
That's so awful.
That's the vibe I get from David.
I just want more Eddie.
Also, someone else said something. I like this. Someone shipped possible Gabe and Bird. I like that.
I thought something was going to happen when I kind of thought that he was going to be like, girls my own age. let's make out or something. Like, not say it, but
Bird's like, I'll be your teacher. We'll show you the ropes, big boy.
Great.
Little boy.
he wants someone experienced. Bird's experienced.
That's true. I just want Bird out of the picture. All right. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for joining the conversation. The chat roll is going crazy. I can see all the great comments. Thank you guys for everyone watching live. We ask you to do a very simple thing for us. Go on to iTunes, hit subscribe. That way you know there's a new episode every week. Also, rate and review us. That's right. If you leave us a comment, we will read it out loud. And by we, I mean this one who has trouble reading. So we're going to read it out loud. Also, if you like our show, which we think you should.
I do, yeah.
I'm all right with it.
Leave us a 5-star rating. And if you don't like our show, you can leave us a 4-star rating. The other stars don't work, turns out. So don't worry about them. Let's read some of our reviews. Fresh Out of Batteries 90 left us a 5-star review.
That's always a huge problem.
Fresh Out of Batteries... I know what you're saying. Obsessed with this show. 3 exclamation points. 5 stars. Fresh Out of Batteries says, I listen to the podcast every week while I'm at work. I look forward to it as much as the new episode of Finding Carter itself. As I watch the new episode every week, I find myself thinking, I wonder what the AfterBuzz girls have to say about this. It's so sweet. Doing a great job, and it's nice to hear the other opinions and theories. One of the best AfterBuzz shows. You know what? I'm going to let them know that. I'm also starting to think one day I'll be team #car crash, and I just want Max to be happy.
Wow.
I wish Hannah was here to hear that.
I know. Tweet at her.
By the way,
Tell
Hannah
her.
will be back next week.
Loser.
Sorry, she's not here. Someone asked where she was.
She's off being lame.
Yeah.
/ she'll be here next week.
Doesn't matter if you're not here.
Yeah. Also, we have a 5-star review from, hold on, it's Lanavis.
Probably one Lanavis one.
Yeah. Who has spelt out how to pronounce it, and I appreciate that. I understand. Lanavis. Lanavis says it's good. It's great. Your discussions stay enjoyable and are constant delights. On the show, I slipped on all the truth tea Grant was spilling. That's a great statement.
Sipped on all the truth tea. I know, but
I love it. I was surprised anyone even noticed he was missing. Yeah. Also, lol at Kyle learning from Elizabeth's mistakes and trying to be a better father as a result.
Good.
Yeah. Kyle, best dad. He could be my daddy. Moving on.
Oh my God.
Let's talk about Taylor.
Oh dear God.
Yeah. Okay. So the episode starts with this car accident, and here's where I got on my high horse. Okay.
no.
Don't text and drive.
Not just don't text and drive.
Don't be Taylor.
Also, don't take drugs and drive. Let me
I feel like we had this conversation last season too.
Okay. I'm gonna have a mom moment, and I'm sorry. I'd like to be clear that I'm not as old as I sound right now. But kids, stop being stupid.
Can you wig your finger too?
No, I'm not a grandma. Stop being stupid. It's really irresponsible and really dumb to text and drive,
really is.
to tweet and drive, to email and drive. Whatever you're doing with your phone while you're driving,
Bad
it's
idea.
stupid. It's not just bad idea, it's really stupid. I don't care if you don't get hurt. You could kill other people.
Mm-hmm. Elizabeth already said that, Yael.
That's like my worst fear too. That's why I don't touch my phone, because it's my worst fear that I'm gonna like hit someone or hurt someone, and like you never take that never if you kill someone, that never goes away.
Yeah.
And it was an accident, so.
So they get into an accident, and I appreciate that Carter this episode not only takes the blame for this, but helps Taylor out. She's being a good sister finally.
I even would at one point be like, all right, F you, Taylor, I'm telling. By the end of it, when she got grounded, I'd be like, well, actually, funny, I thought I said I was driving. I wasn't.
Well, at the end when Carter gets grounded for this, and Elizabeth says, you broke the rules. You shouldn't have been on your phone. I'm like, what rules? That is not a rule. That is life. Like, you should not be on your phone while you drive. They both should have been grounded. I don't care who was driving. That's stupid.
Mm-hmm. Moving on.
I'm sorry. I'm really frustrated.
So here's the thing is, Taylor keeps popping these Tic Tacs, a.k.a.
study
Adderall?
buddies. Yeah, they're study buddies.
But it's like doing the opposite effect, because if she was on this Adderall that was supposed to make her more attentive, she would have put her head up from her phone and not hit that car.
Also, Adderall is not something that they test for in a drug test, is it?
I know, but when I was if I was 17 and on drugs, I would assume that was like now I'm pretty sure I know they don't, but like.
Also, you could be on Adderall because you're on Adderall.
Right. I was going to say, it's a prescription drug. Like, people use it daily for real stuff.
But I remember, like, when I got a job when I was 17, I had to do a drug test, and I was, like, nervous they were going to know I drank beer the night before. Like, I mean, I just didn't know it all yet. I thought I did.
Yeah. Also, when you're on drugs, you start getting paranoid. Like,
yeah, very true.
Yeah, that's a legit fear.
But doesn't Carter know that they don't test for Adderall in a drug test?
Carter used to do all sorts of drugs and didn't care, as we recall, right?
Yeah, she's like, hey, Taylor, I get it. You're turning into me. I'm turning into old you. I got your back.
Yeah.
I'm the one making croutons now.
Oh, I can't wait for King Carter to become Slave Carter. I'd like that.
And King Taylor.
King Taylor sounds stupid, because I think at least Carter was like thought through her kingdom. Like, she'd be like, I decided this should happen because I believe in this. And Taylor is being like, nah, life is hard.
I know.
Yeah, she changes her mind a lot.
Yeah.
The whole outburst at the gym was weird.
Yeah.
Made no sense to me.
So she's freaking out over this meeting with the Yale people. I'm sorry. As much as I personally hate Yale, like, that's a great school.
Yeah.
You should get your stuff together. That's me censoring. You should get your stuff together for this meeting. Be prepared, not focus or worry about other things. This is kind of important.
Yeah. A lot more important than leading a college convention.
So what if it doesn't look great? That no one knows that you messed that up.
Well, and also, I mean, I understand that it was supposed to be an ego thing, that Taylor was so upset that Carter executed it for her, but, like, the fact that she was trying to kick everybody out made no sense. You could have been like, Taylor could have been like, yo, Carter, you're stealing my
thunder.
Yeah, and I really wish you didn't do that, but it looks good. I'm going to take it from here. But instead, she was like, everybody go.
Not just that. It was, girl, they're throwing a party now because everything's pretty much done. If you're mad about the party, tell them to turn off the music and get rid of the alcohol. Like, that's what you do. They're throwing a party. This is not the place. Hey, guys, why don't we turn off the music and take it elsewhere?
Why is she trying to make more work for herself? I would have gotten there and been like, great, you guys did so much. Like, great, we're done.
Well, because she's used to being the overachiever.
I know.
And her thunder has been stolen.
She needs to get over it because Yael doesn't care.
Yeah, that's true. Let's talk about Damon. This
Mason Dye, y'all on the internet be shitting yourselves over this boy. He is cute though.
Where'd he come from?
He came from the gym bleachers. That's where we first saw him.
He came out of nowhere.
You know what? He would be good for Taylor for a while.
I mean, we don't know much about him yet. He's probably like a kidnapper or something.
He was on Teen Wolf. Keep going.
Yeah, well, he's also on Secret Diary of an American Cheerleader. He's on Teen Wolf. He's been a lot of stuff.
Breathe. What is Secret Diary of an American Cheerleader?
It's like a YouTube show all about,
I've seen it then.
Yeah.
Flowers in the Attic was a movie.
Right. All right. He came out of nowhere on this show and is like, oh, Bird doesn't even notice me and I'm in love with her. What? Since when? Where have you been? Have you ever been to any of her parties?
I mean, maybe. She basically would throw parties for the whole school.
He probably wasn't invited, though, because he doesn't seem like he's one of the cool kids.
Yeah, he was going to cure cancer while folding.
He was like, that's not a use of my intellectual abilities.
That was a good impression. I feel like I don't want him on the show. And I feel bad because I feel like everyone in the chat room is really...
he has a big following.
I can look at him.
He's pretty cute to look at, so I can get on board with him being a regular on this show.
Until he's shirtless and proves it, I will not accept it.
Next week, maybe. Next week.
I will not accept him.
I want a gay relationship on this show.
Okay.
I want Gabe to come out and date this
Damon.
guy.
Damon.
I also am assuming both will come out.
At the same time.
Or,
that's true.
What if one is confused? What if Damon's confused? And Gabe is like... confused too, because he's like, I was having sex with this adult teacher and she didn't want me.
Bird in with them. She likes both but
Yeah, Bird's definitely floating on all the teams. So,
Yeah.
I really like where this is going.
It sounds like we're heading into something, but before we do, one last thing. Lori's letters keep coming. That
was a lot of letters. She pulled letters. I'm like, how long has it been? How many is she writing a day?
But also, the end result is Carter realizes that Taylor's problem is it's because of Lori. She's so sad and her life is all a mess because of Lori.
Carter, how did you miss that?
And the solution is to dance.
I did like that solution, though.
You know what? If there's an excuse to play Mr. Wives on the show, so be it. I loves me some Sister Wives.
Or
Mr. Wives. Sister Wives, too.
I mean, but it seems like last week's solution were hugs, and this week's solution was dancing.
Okay, well, have you ever had a really bad day and you're just like, let me just blast some of my favorite song and like dance around my room alone?
Let me explain.
Or with like my roommate or something.
I haven't had that day where I took drugs, got in a car accident, almost ruined my chances of going to Yale, and then solved the problem by dancing.
Don't worry, it works for all your problems.
Okay. Before we head into predictions, we have some news and gossip.
Oh, yeah, I forgot I had news and gossip.
Kylie.
I'm sorry, this chat roll is really great this week. I just love what everyone's having to say. Very, very interesting people today. Okay, so news and gossip. Alexis, can we please see an image? Oh, does everybody see that is the one and only Mariah Carey? And who is on her left? What looks like a very handsome man that could be on this show. He looks like Kyle, a.k.a. Eddie Matos.
Oh, Eddie. But
this was a photo of Mariah Carey in Las Vegas this weekend because she went to see Tyson Beckford in the Chippendales. And somebody gave her some diamond earrings. I tweeted at Eddie Matos this link and asked him to please confirm or deny if that was him. So, Eddie, if you are listening, you really need to tell the people if you're hooking up with Mimi and giving her diamond rings.
Earrings.
I think diamond earrings.
Him.
That's his hairline. His eyes, the smile not so much, but
the jaw for sure.
That's it.
Here's what I'll say.
Looks like him. Looks like him.
As much as it does look like him, it's very clearly
I don't think it is.
not him. that said,
I just found the photo on TMZ.
It's like 40-60. 40-60.
Looks a lot like him. That's all I gotta say about that.
I just want to say I would be absolutely heartbroken if that were Eddie. I'm going to be honest. Absolutely heartbroken.
I mean, I would love if he was dating Mariah Carey, because then what if we got him in the studio and he was like, oh, do you mind if my girlfriend's here? And we were like, oh, Mimi? Yeah, sure, come on in.
That would, again, break my heart.
Yeah, he's not allowed to bring girls around Yael.
Yeah. All right,
okay, the chat roll is going ape shit right now. I just want to talk about a few things. Yeah. I hope you don't mind. This is a good point, because I don't believe we talked about it last time. Someone asked about, remember when Carter went to go see the fortune teller and she originally predicted Carter had two brothers?
Yes.
Do you guys feel like that's foreshadowing?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Okay, it's just a thing. All right, that was really all. And then everyone keeps shipping Gabe and Bird as Babe or Gerd.
Oh, Babe.
I like Gerd because it's gross sounding.
Yes, and
but Babe is cute.
I think Gerd would be gross, so I think Gerd works. Let's head into predictions.
That's Spanish or English for predicciones.
AFTERBUZZ TV.
It's actually French. Here's what we saw in the trailer. A friend from Carter's old life comes into town.
What?
This friend kisses Max. I think that's how they say hello. And then the friend says, Lori said you would forgive me. And then Carter's all pissed and was like, you were talking to Lori? That's what we get in the promo.
Crazy.
Predictions?
I didn't see the trailer.
I just told you what was in it.
I know, but I wish I saw it. It would have been a good visual for me.
They don't play it at the end when you watch it on MTV.com. It's not like a thing that they play at the end. They just say, here's the credits.
I apologize to all the fans that watch it live and know what I'm talking about.
I don't blame Carter for being pissed that her friend is talking to Lori.
Nope.
Who is this friend kissing Max, and why aren't I that friend?
Fair question. My question is, why is this friend from her past? Why do people from the past keep showing up that we haven't heard of or
Well, there's got to be a million people from her past we haven't heard of.
Yeah,
she had a life.
I know, but I feel like this person's supposed to be a, like, close friend of her, like, maybe her best friend when she was growing up, or used to hang with her and Max, obviously.
Yeah.
I feel like this friend is only showing up because Lori contacted.
So another one, like Alan.
Yeah, I think this is all a device.
I don't know. Her life was kind of uprooted, and she had Max there, so I don't know. She probably kind of cut off because she's dealing with a lot. So I get how she could have kind of drifted apart from someone that was her best girlfriend.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I don't know. I don't like that people are just showing up out of the woodwork.
No, I don't like
do
either.
like the idea that
I'm
maybe
suspicious.
that she is the sent by Lori, especially because they're not answering the calls or the letters, so maybe that might make sense.
Yeah.
I mean, they also said in the trailer it's all leading up to, and then it was the Carter Max kiss, which we don't know when it's happening. I don't think that's happening next week yet.
I don't either.
I have a feeling that is way down the line, and that they're just going to keep dragging us towards it.
Yeah.
Thoughts?
I want to kiss Max.
We know you do.
Alex Saxon!
Calm down.
Are you listening?
Girl, if I don't shout at Eddie, you don't shout
I
it.
can't even remember what I predicted about those two kissing. I do like it, though, just because I think they're cute together and they get each other, and I feel like Max can ground people really well, and I think he would keep her off her
And
king
Carter
throne.
needs it.
Yeah.
I
Although
think,
she's been good. Like, this episode, she was good.
I think Grant is going to take some time away from the family somehow, one way or another. I don't know how. I don't think it's going to be with Grandma and Grandpa, though.
You don't think he's going to move in with them?
I don't think Elizabeth will allow it. I think she'll put up a big fight.
Ugh, okay.
I also would like to see Gregan. Grant and Reagan.
I think he's
Reagan.
screwed that up.
I would like to see her. I mean, I want a little more resolution out of that.
Yeah.
We never, he freaked her out.
I want him to at least have a buddy.
Yeah, although, I mean, it could be like that was their way of ending her in this show, but I would like to see more. I'd like to see a rekindling and
I want more Grant and Max. We haven't had that at all this season.
Yeah.
I want that. Where we had predictions in the chat roll. Do you want to read some of those?
Which
No.
one? I mean, a lot of people are just talking about, like, what if Lori, like, was an egg donor for someone else, so there's another kid. And people are talking a lot about, like, if there's, actually another brother. Someone thinks Crash is going to die at the end of the season. Someone else said they think Carter's going to die.
That doesn't make sense.
A lot of times if people donate eggs, they do it a second time, so that would make sense if she has multiple children out there.
Yeah, but she's a creeper.
Yeah.
I feel like when she donates, she knows where knows where they're going.
I would want to know where my eggs are going.
That's not how it works.
I wouldn't.
Well, then they ain't going nowhere, except in a cycle.
That's not how it works either.
You're right. They sit there, don't they?
If it wasn't so hard, I would just give mine to anybody who couldn't have children, but you don't want my children, but I would do it for you anyways.
This conversation got weird.
All right, so let's recap our predictions. I want more Reagan. I want Carter and Max kissing because, that's cute. I want David to, like, actually seem like he loves his family. That would be a nice, delightful surprise. I would like to see more of Kyle and less clothes.
I like that.
Thank you.
I'm going to throw in that it would be really nice, at least story-wise, to see Kyle discover that it was Gabe
Yeah.
sleeping with Abby. Yes?
Okay, so, Haley Matthews on the chat roll. If you're already pregnant, you can't get pumped up with eggs. That's not how it works. I'm sorry. They keep talking about eggs in the chat roll. We need to, like, post, like, a WebMD on, like...
Let me explain how babies are made. No, that's not happening. Not on this show, guys. Thank you so much.
Chat roll, you guys are hilarious.
You guys are wonderful. Thank you so much for joining us. If you haven't already, in the chat roll, click the thumbs up, comment, go on to iTunes, subscribe. Why don't we tell them again where they can find us online?
You can find me on Twitter at Kristin Strange and on Instagram at Kristin Aubrey Strange.
Kylie.
Let's be friends. Follow me at the Kylie Hodges.
Awesome. And if you want to know where babies are made, look it up.
Yeah, tweet at me. I'll show you visuals.
Stop it.
diagrams.
Also, you can find me online at yael.tv. That's yael.tv. Also, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, other places at Yael Tygiel. That's YAELTYGIEL. And we will see you, stop it, next week.
Prediction.
Next week for more Finding Carter.
I just ruined this after show.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.